Buenos días, ¿qué tal? This is Spanish 123. You have already done 121 and 122, so you're ready for the coronation. You should actually print this document, as I always suggest to you. And if you are not really comfortable with doing Spanish 123 online, you can certainly move to On Ground. This is perfectly parallel to the 123 that is being taught on Ground, the same book. Let's see. The contact information for me, sort of in an act of desperation, is phone number. It's 360-475-7116. But the best way to connect with me is through my email, which is printed here. It's easier for you to read it. And I would like you to use the OC email to connect with me rather than going to Canvas. Okay, we're not going to do anything on Canvas. We're just going to stay with the Connect. For technical support, you need to call the CARE support office at Connect, which is 800-331-5094. They will ask you if you're a student or an instructor, and you will get a group of people who are very, very helpful. And they are on 24/7. You can also go online at mpss.mhhe.com, which is the McGraw-Hill site. And then if you're having difficulties, you can ask any kind of questions you want. You may have to download or update some of your software, which is it's just very normal. They will guide you through that, and they will tell you what to do. The Spanish 123 is the online version of Puntos de Partida, which is taught on Ground. And the platform is called Connect. You may be familiar with it if you took the other two courses. And if you decide that you are not comfortable, this is not your cup of tea or your glass of tequila, you need to just switch to the On Ground 123 class during the first 2 weeks of the quarter, and they are perfectly parallel. I have listed here course goals, a set of goals, which I will briefly read to you. You need to involve yourself in Hispanic world and learn about the people and the traditions, their feelings and their behavior especially, so that you can fit in a culture easily when you travel to visit. You need to learn vocabulary and grammar in their functional use. That is to say, you need to learn verbs and verb tenses and pronouns and be able to use them correctly. And you also need to learn sentence structure. That is to say a sentence normally, correctly, rather than starting at the end of a sentence. And you are expected to cover a certain amount of information. You need to, at the end of this course, you need to demonstrate that you have acquired basic vocabulary, and you need to express very familiar and daily situations, nothing complicated. You need to demonstrate a functional use of grammar patterns. That is to say, you need to write and speak correctly. You need to be able to respond to oral messages, which is probably the hardest thing to understand what people are saying. But you need to learn how to recognize that information. There is a lot of listening exercises in your workbook and in your textbook, so you won't have problems. By the end, you will feel comfortable. You also need to demonstrate clear pronunciation, very good pronunciation, so that people understand what you're trying to say. And you need to learn a little bit about the geography and culture of some Spanish-speaking countries. Okay? You need to have access to a computer, and you need a plan B. That is to say, if your computer crashes, you need to know what to do. So you can figure out where you can have access to a computer, or rent one, or come on campus, or borrow from a friend. Okay? Your computer should be equipped with a webcam and with a Skype program. Skype is free. You can download it. I have guidelines on how to do it, steps on how to download that, because you will be doing your oral presentation on Skype, and so you need a webcam so that I can see your face. And you will only need the materials that are found online. You can also buy it at the bookstore. The textbook is called Puntos de Partida. Otherwise, you have it as an ebook. And then you have a workbook and a laboratory manual. You also should consider getting a headset for listening to the videos and the online activities. And you will need to have a word processing software and for writing paragraphs and things like that, and then just pasting them onto the space that you will be provided. But you should consider using MS Word or Mac Pages if you use a Mac. In this course, we're going to cover the last 6 chapters or lessons in Puntos de Partida. They, on a normal 10-week course or 11-week course, we have about 1.5 weeks to complete each chapter. And these are required, do the required exercises, and most of them are automatically corrected. But Mi Diario and Entrevista, as you know, are either short answers or short essays, and they will be manually corrected by me. Okay. The tests will be taken online. There will be a total of 5 tests, as you had in 121, 4 written tests that sometimes include 1 chapter or 2 chapters, and then you will have the oral, which counts just as a regular normal test. You will have a list of information that to address for your oral presentation. There are no makeup tests. You will have 2 or 3 days really to complete your test, and once you start, you will have 90 minutes and sometimes 100 minutes, depending on how many exercises you have in the test. So you must take the test on the specified day. If you think you will have any kind of problems, you need to let me know well ahead of time so that I can deal with you individually and see what we can do. Okay. Let's see, the grades. Grades are going to include, the final grading is going to include everything. It's going to be based on a cumulative calculation of homework percentages and test scores. So please do your homework and make sure you do it right, because everything counts. All right, and not only just for your grade's sake, but because if you don't do your homework, you really will not succeed in doing your test correctly, ultimately. There is a policy for using Skype and webcam system when you take your oral examination. This is a binding contract. I will let you read the details, but it will involve using a webcam and showing me your ID, picture ID, next to you as you're taking the oral exam.